Hi, this is Sweet June coming back at you with another video. Actually, this is just going to be a chat update, just a random chat. Just I don't know about an update, but I'm going to get my workout in. Hoping everybody's having a blessed Saturday. Hope everybody's going to have a blessed weekend. Today is, what's the day today? Saturday, June the 19th. And I'm hoping everybody is doing well. Hope all is well with you. And I hope that everybody is washing their hands and practicing social distancing. And, well, some people are choosing not to wear the masks because they've been vaccinated. But I think that people should still wear them. I still wear my mask. Let me know in the comment section if you're still wearing your mask. By the way, if you're new to my channel, hit the subscribe button. This is not over. This pandemic is not over. They're talking about, they come on the news talk about this Delta. It's another strain of the virus. It's called Delta something. It's another strain of the virus. They said that it's starting to hit the United States, and they're saying that if you get vaccinated, that's your best protection against the new strain. I think it's all propaganda. I think they're just saying that just to get people to get vaccinated. I think now they're trying to use scare tactics to get people to get vaccinated. Go figure. Because when they were talking about it, they was like, well, your best protection against this strain is to get vaccinated. Okay, if that strain is worse than the original, then what makes you think the current vaccine even works for that? I'm not stating facts here. I'm just asking questions, just in case. I'm not trying to get in trouble. I'm asking questions. If this is a more, they say this Delta strain coming out is supposed to be worse. Okay, how do you know the current vaccine is going to work for that? So they're steady saying, oh, well, your best protection against it is to get vaccinated. I think that they're trying to at this point, they know there's a lot of people not getting the vaccine, so they're trying to basically scare people into getting vaccinated because they're talking about this new strain. I don't think they really know if the current vaccine is gonna. Now, I could be wrong, but I just think that they're trying to basically, because they've tried bribing people. They've tried bribing people into getting the vaccine, saying that certain places saying they give X amount of dollars. They set some bar somewhere, said they was going to give out free beers if people get vaccinated. And they're saying people their places are offering money and all kinds of incentives to get vaccinated. If you reduce your life down to a beer, then you need to reevaluate yourself. so I just I'm not saying people shouldn't get vaccinated, because like I said, I don't tell people not to get it, or to get it. Just questions that I have. I don't feel comfortable with taking the vaccine. Nobody in my family is comfortable with taking it. We're basically trusting God. We're trusting God, um, because at the end of the day, Jehovah God is our vaccine. And some people say, well, if you get it, and look, I look at it like this. He's been keeping us. He's been keeping me all this time. He's been keeping my family, and we, knock on wood, we haven't gotten the virus. I had a couple scares that I thought I had it, but I got tested and I didn't. So I put my health and my life in God's hands. My health and my life is in God's hands, not in man's. I know that God gives man the skills. He gives men the knowledge to help us with certain medical conditions and everything. He gives man the knowledge. Yes, God gave them that knowledge to do that. But and I get that, but I don't trust this vaccine. I don't trust it. They come out with it too fast. I just don't trust it. So, not telling anybody to not do it or to do it. I'm not That's not my place to tell anybody what to do, but that's my decision. And I think that at the end of the day, it's a personal decision. It's a personal decision of, whether you want to get it or not. And I think people say, well, if you wind up in the hospital, well, see, people shouldn't even be fixing their mouth to say stuff like that. First of all, you're thinking negative and everything. I'm not knocking. I'm not knocking people for taking the vaccine. If people want to take the vaccine, that's fine. I'm not knocking people for taking it. People shouldn't knock people for not taking it. It's a personal decision. And there's people of all races that are choosing to opt out of the vaccine because they just don't trust it. You know what I mean? So a lot of black people is opting out because of the Tuskegee thing that they've used in the past, have historically used black bodies for experiments and things like that. That's not the reason why I'm not doing it. Because they created the vaccine. Not only black people are getting the vaccine, everybody's getting the vaccine. So I don't know if that argument even applies to this situation, because everybody's getting the vaccine. It's not just black people, but that's a lot of black people don't have a lot of trust of the healthcare system because of that. But that's not the reason why I'm not getting it. The reason why I just simply don't trust it. It's like they just came out with it too fast. There has been people that has passed away from taking the vaccine. There has been people have had side effects and gotten sick. And my son said everybody that took it on his job got sick. So I'm just not trusting it. Everybody's system is different. It might affect me differently than it would somebody else. And I figure all this time, I haven't had COVID. And I've been taking the precautions and wearing my mask and washing my hands and things like that. So I'm trusting God that He's going to keep me covered. People act like there's something wrong with trusting God. Well, why didn't you get in there, debating with people on Facebook a couple months or so ago about it? And I'm like, what is the problem with trusting God? Our life and our health is in His hands. He's our creator. He's our Father. Our life and our health is in His hands anyways. So people act like there's a big problem with trusting God. And that's what we choose to do. Now, when it comes to other health matters, yes, I will go to the doctor. I have to have surgery done on both of my hands and injections in my back. Of course, I'm scared to do that too. But I think that fear just comes with getting older. I think that I've had surgeries in the past, and I don't remember having this much fear. I did have to have, back in my 20s, I had to have an ovary removed, and I was very scared and upset about that. I remember that. But I think that just comes with getting older, the healing process is, you don't heal as faster when you get older as you do when you're younger, and things are different in your body as you get older. So it's a little bit more concern. But at the end of the day, I have to put my trust in God as far as that too. When I go to get my hand surgery done, when I go get my back surgery done. Oh, no. Correction. I'm not getting back surgery. Correction. My injections. We're going to try to get around the surgery. They suggested surgery, but I'm going to try to get around the back surgery. But when I get my injections and all these things, I'm going to ultimately put my trust in God and pray that He works through the doctors too, and pray that everything comes out okay. But as far as the vaccine, I just don't trust it. Hit me up in the comment section. Let me know what your status is. I'm not going to judge you either way. Did you choose to take the vaccine? If you did you have side effects? Or If you're choosing to not opt out of the vaccine, if you're not trusting, you feel the same way I do about it, and just let me know. I'm not going to judge you either way because I don't do that. It's not my place to judge anybody for making a decision about what they feel is best for their body. So just let me know. Hit me up in the comment section how you feel about the situation. Sound off. Well, that's that as far as that. I need to get you guys' opinion on something. Hit me up in the comment section. I need you guys' opinion on this. I went to a couple of weeks ago. I think this was a couple of weeks ago. Story time. A couple of weeks ago, I went into a Family Dollar store. I mean, we got so many Dollar Generals and Family Dollars around here. It's just ridiculous, So I went into, I found that Family Dollar is cheaper than Dollar General. I found that out. There's certain items that are cheaper in Family Dollar than it is Dollar General. But they're owned by the same company. Go figure. Yes, Dollar General and Family, just in case you didn't know that, Family Dollar and Dollar General are owned by the same people. You didn't know that, did you? They are. So basically, they're competing with each other. I mean, or they're competing with their own themselves, basically. Go figure. It's probably a marketing thing. But they're both owned by the same company. But Family Dollar, I find there's certain items in Family Dollar that is cheaper than Dollar General. All right, let me get to the point. I'm getting off the point. I went into a Family Dollar store, and this black lady, as I was walking in the store, this black lady was in there with, she had 2 kids, but at the time, I only observed her with 1 child. She had 2 children with her, but at the time, as I was walking in the store, I only observed her with 1 child. And the only reason why I noticed her at the register was because she was talking loud. And she was like, "Well, is that what you gonna get?" It was apparently it was a teenage boy, she was talking to, and she's like, "Well." As I was walking the store, she was like, "Well, is that what you gonna get? Make sure that's what you gonna get," or whatever like that. So she's kind of talking loud. So I looked over and I noticed her. Well, I kind of blew it off and went back and got whatever it is that I was gonna get. I can't even remember what I was buying that day. But anyway, I kind of blew her off, went to the store and got whatever it was that I needed. Went to the checkout, and it was me, an older white lady, and a black, I would say he might have been middle-aged black man in line. This black lady was at the register with her son and her daughter. Well, when I first got to the register, I didn't see a little girl. And the reason why I didn't see the little girl was because she had allegedly ran out of the store. Well, she did run out of the store. And she was chewing the young man. The young man went outside to get the little girl. And she was chewing him out. I can't remember everything she was saying, but she was chewing this young man out. Literally. Chewing him out. And she was, I love my sisters. I don't like to bash my sisters because I love them. I don't like to bash anyone, but at the same time, you guys know, if you watch me on a regular basis, I keep it real. I gotta keep it real. She was one of those black women that black guys talk about. She had a horrible attitude. She was really, really talking terribly to this young man, in which I was assuming he was a teenager. And I can understand her. I get it that she was upset that he let the little girl run out of the store. I get that. As a mother, I would be upset about that too. She was chewing him out about that. And then she went she was on the phone with somebody at the register. And she was just like, just being belligerent. I would say she just was being very belligerent towards, I'm assuming this young man was her son, because he kind of looked like her. And she was like, get the bags, get the child, and go out to the car. And he was slowing around, and she said, you must have didn't hear what I said. I said, get the bags, get the child, and go out to the car. And then she said something bad about him. And then she said, you know what? I just want him to go home. She told somebody on the phone, I just want him to go home. And she was very belligerent. I was like, she was just that bad. And she was the type, I hate to say it, but she was the type of black women that the black guys are always talking about how we all are. They say we all are like that, and which is not true. All of us are not like that. But she fit into that category. She was very brutal towards this young man, and I felt so bad for the lad. I felt really bad for the lad. And it was, like I said, it was me standing in the line, an older white lady, and a black man standing in line. And we didn't say anything. The cashier was a young white male. And he was kind of like, wow, really? You know, kind of like in disbelief. And I really felt bad because I'm thinking, should I have said something? I was afraid if I had said something, she would have been like cussing me out and going off on me. And I think the other two people in line felt the same way. But needless to say, when I went outside, because she told somebody on the phone, I just want him to go home. And I goes outside, you know, after I got done paying for everything, you know, the cashier was like, wow, you know, he was like in shock and stuff like that. And I heard the older white lady was saying something to the black guy. I couldn't make out what she was saying because I think she was talking about the situation. And I was walking out of the store as she was talking to him. And when I got outside, there is, beside this particular Family Dollar, is a building. And behind the building is like a parking lot. And it's like a little bushes. It's like a little path and some bushes that leads to the parking lot in the back of this other building or house or whatever it is. And so I comes outside. He's sitting on the side where the little bushes was leading up to the parking lot of this building next to the store. And I looked over there and said, oh my God, I see her pulling off. I'm like, are you freaking kidding me? She's making her son walk home? I really, really felt bad about I felt, at that point, I really, really felt bad. And so he's kind of sat there for a while. And then as I got in the car and I started to drive away, I said, well, maybe should I ask him, is he okay? He started walking on the store sidewalk. And I asked him, are you okay? You know? He said, yeah, but the look on his face, she made him walk home is what she did. The look on his face was like he was so embarrassed, angry, you know. I really felt bad for the lad. I really, really felt bad for him, the young man. And it's almost like he was sitting there in the bushes there for a while, and it was almost like he didn't want to go home. I said, I don't blame him. I wouldn't want to go home to that either. I wouldn't want to go home to that either. I don't blame him. But I really felt bad. And so I told my son, my oldest son about the whole situation. I explained to him about the whole situation. And he said, you should have said something. He said, you mean to tell me there was 3 adults standing in line? Because I told him who all was in line with me, and neither one of y'all said nothing. Me, a black lady, a black man, and a older white lady was in line. And he said, you mean to tell me out of all 3 of y'all didn't say nothing? So he kind of made me feel really bad. I'm like, I said, well, I was afraid if I had said something, she was going to cuss me out. You mind your business, yada, 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 yada. You know how they talk, when they like that, I know I would have got cussed out had I said something, because she was literally, there's two types of abuse. There's physical abuse and there's emotional abuse. And she was literally emotionally abusing this young man. And I tried to, I said, I'm assuming that she's a single mother. I can sense the frustration. I can sense the frustration that she was a single mom. I can pick up the frustration in her. And I remember there were times when, I was having bad days and everything when I was a single mother. And, but my youngest son put me in check one time. He said, Mom, just because you're going through stuff on your job, don't come home and take it out on us. All I could do was say, I'm sorry, baby. And I said, well, she's probably a single mother. I don't know what kind of day she's had. I don't know. She might have had some issues on the job. But you can't come home and take it out on your children. I said, I wondered, does she talk to this child like this every day? And I thought about it. I said, she sounded like she was a toxic mom. I hate to draw a conclusion of her based on just a moment in the store. But, I mean, she was brutal. The way she was talking to this young man was brutal. And I said, if she's a toxic mom, I said that is why I bet you that's why some of these black men feel the way they do about black women. Because some of them might have had toxic moms like that. And I said, he might be the type that she talks like this to him on a regular basis. He get older, he ain't gonna want nothing to do with no black woman. I said, it's sad. And I said, I get it that I know she was upset because the baby walked out the store and he should have been watching the baby. I understand that. I get that. But it was like, she was fussing at him when I walked in the store. She was fussing at him when I walked in the store. But I just didn't pay it much attention because I was going in the store to pick up stuff, But, yeah, she was brutal. I mean, hit me up in the comment section. Let me know what you think. Should I have said something? Should the three of us that were standing in line, should we have intervened and said something? I really felt bad for the young man. I hope that he got home safely, But he was acting like he didn't want to go home. And I said, I don't blame him because I wouldn't want to go home to that either. And I thought about my sons and I said, if I had been like that to my sons, boy, if I had been that brutal towards my sons. And it's like when I started getting a closer relationship with God and became a Christian and started getting a closer relationship with God, I learned to be slower to anger. Because I used to have a really bad anger problem when I was younger. But I learned to be slower to anger. I was just telling my son a story about when, I know it's hard to believe, but I used to be about that life. When I was younger, I had a little bit of a temper, and I almost got into a fight when I was pregnant with my oldest son, on the job, mind you. I'll tell that story another time. I'm not telling it right now, but I'll tell it another time. I was telling my youngest son that story. I was kind of about that life. I had a little bit of an anger issue. But as time went on, I used to be very quick-tempered, but as time went on, I learned to, especially when I draw a closer relationship with God, with Jehovah God, I've learned to control my anger and to be slower to anger. And it's a good thing because some of the stuff that, issues on different jobs, if I wasn't slow to anger, I probably would have gotten fired. So I think that's, as mothers, we have to be more patient with our children. We have to be slow to anger. We have to be mindful of how we talk to them. Because my thought was, if I had been that brutal towards my sons, they wouldn't be here for me right now. And it's at a time, I'm at a a vulnerable time in my life where I'm going through a lot of physical changes, issues with my body, and I need them. I need their help. And if I had been, I thought about if I had been like that towards my sons, neither one of them would be there for me right now. Ooh, neither one of them. I mean, neither one of them would have been there. So, we just have to be mindful of how we talk to our children. I can understand her frustration as a single mother, if she's a single mother. I'm assuming she is, and I can understand her frustration. And it's very, very stressful being a single mother, and I get it. But we got to be careful how we talk to our children, And I just didn't know what to say. But I just didn't know what to say. But I felt bad because I felt like I should have said something when I told my oldest son about it. He said, "Mom, y'all, all three of y'all stood." He said, "You mean to tell me all three of y'all stood there and none of y'all said nothing?" I said, I was afraid if I had her, she was going to cuss me out. And I think the other two people felt the same way, along with the cashier. And he was just doing his job. So hit me up in the comment section. Let me know what your thoughts are on that. Let me know, what do you think? Do you think I should have said something to this lady that was being very belligerent to her son? And I said, see, it's black women like her. She gives us all a bad name. That they lump us all in that box, and they say that we're all like that. And I know in other videos I've said, I don't know any black women like that. Well, June, now you do. Well, I still don't know her, but I've observed it. I knew that they existed, but most of the black women I know are not like that, And so I didn't know this lady. I didn't know her. I didn't know her personally, but I just know that it was very wrong for her to talk to her child like that. Because I can just look in the young man's face and just see that his feelings, that he was just broken. And she just broke him. And then the fact that she made him walk home. Because she told somebody on the phone, I just want him to go home. Well, I didn't think she meant that literally. I was like, good gracious. I come outside, he walk, he act like he didn't want to go home. And I just can't say I can blame the young man. So let me know what you think. I still feel bad. That's kind of on my heart still. But mothers have to be careful how they treat their children. I've seen, believe it or not, I've seen white women do that as well at times. So it's not just, but we get judged as a whole. See, they get judged as individuals. We get judged as a whole. So black men will look at her, see them black women? And I looked at the black guy, I said, I just can only imagine what's going through his mind right now. See them black women, see how them black women is? Don't put us all in that box. Don't do that. All of us are not like that. All of us are not toxic like that. Don't put us all in that box. Don't do that. People should be judged as individuals. I always say, get to know me first. Get to know me first, and then if you don't want to, and then if you decide you don't like me after you get to know me, okay, oh well, there ain't nothing I can do about that. But get to know me first. Don't just judge me because I'm black, I'm a black woman or whatever. Don't assume things about me because I'm a black woman. Get to know me first, because a lot of people, once they get to know me, black and white people, once they get to know me, they like me. Most people, once they get to know me, unless they just made up their mind, some people are not going to like you no matter how nice you are or good of a person. Some people are just not going to like you. I know I worked with a lady at the daycare that I used to work at. I'll tell that story another time, but this woman read me the riot act, and she was Puerto Rican. She read me the riot act. Puerto Rican Becky. She read me the riot act. And this particular classroom that I worked in, she was the lead teacher in the classroom, and I couldn't do anything right. I was responsible for closing the classroom. And every day I'm coming to work, and she's like, oh, I found a toy on the floor, because maintenance would come in after we left, and there were cleaning people that came in after the building was closed and cleaned the building. So I wasn't the last person in the building. So every day I would come to work, she would say, well, I found this on the floor. I found that on the floor. I mean, I could never do anything right with her. It was horrible. Finally, you know, I had to wind up going to another classroom, because I'll tell that story in more detail another time. But no matter how nice I was to her or how much respect I showed her or whatever the situation was, she just didn't like me. She just didn't like me. And you're going to meet people and come across people in life that, on jobs or whatever the situation is, they're not going to like you. Sometimes it's a race issue. I think in her case, she wasn't crazy about black. But sometimes they don't like you as a person. You know? Whatever. But most people that get to know me, once they get to know me, they like me, because I'm a likable person. I treat everybody with love and respect. You know, most people, I'm cool. Once they get to know me, they like me. They cool with me. So if they don't like you, there ain't nothing you can do about it. You know, I figure at the end of the day, they ain't paying my bills. They ain't doing nothing for me. So whatever. It is what it is. So let me know what your thoughts are on that situation. Should someone have said something about the COVID, the vaccine, what I talked about earlier? Did you take it? Did you didn't take it? Whatever the situation is. Wanted just to get a quick update, chit chat with you guys right quick. I'm going to shoot in here and get this workout done in. And hit the subscribe, like, and share. Until the next video. Peace and love. This is Sweet Jude.